It's not a good place to be. It's really not. Which will bring us to our still nameless, because no one wants to name it at all, Week 8 bets. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 3.5-point dogs in the dog pound at First Energy Stadium on the lake. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. Ben Roethlisberger is looking. We still don't know who the Cleveland Browns quarterback is, and maybe that makes a huge difference. Maybe it does not. What are your thoughts on this game? What are your thoughts on this 3.5-point line?
Yeah, I think odds makers believe Baker Mayfield's going to play if that line is plus 3.5 for the Steelers. And granted, typically you'll see 3 points given to the home team, like historically, but I think like more modern, that's dropped to maybe like 2.5 around there. So regardless, I still think it's expected to be a tight game. I think if it was confirmed that Case Keenum was playing, might be a little bit different. You might see Steelers +1, or maybe just like a pick 'em game per se. I don't know, for whatever reason, I like the Steelers in this one. You know,
I know, right?
I really don't. I don't think the Browns right now are a very good football team with Baker's shoulder or with Case Keenum playing at quarterback, especially with either Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. Now, I get it. Dearness Johnson ran for 100 yards versus the Broncos defense. Steelers don't have the Broncos defense. You know,
Exactly. And Nick
they're
Chubb is back. Granted, Nick Chubb will play, which is big.
yeah, very big. But I mean, there's still questions along the offensive line. You know, still the myriad of other injuries the Browns have had to deal with. And granted, they have had a little bit of extra rest following that Thursday night game they played last week. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody's banged up. Like I said, it's going to come down to talent. And I just think the Steelers are the more talented team at this moment in time. Right now, for this week, with all of the chess pieces that they have or, you know, may not have, I like the Steelers. I at least like the Steelers plus 3.5.
I agree. I think for some, there's just this weird feeling like,
Yeah.
look, at the Denver Broncos were not good. They are a very bad football team. The Cleveland Browns almost lost. We talked about that on Tuesday. The Cleveland Browns almost lost. People seem to overlook that. The Steelers are on a 2-game winning streak. Take that as you will. It's still a 2-game winning streak. This is for the bottom of the AFC North. And I do not care if history is changing and the Cleveland Browns are coming back and Kevin Stefanski and it's a new dog pound, Baker Mayfield, blah, blah, blah. In moments like this, I'm putting Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers way above the Cleveland Browns every single time. I don't even think that's a biased choice. I think that's just what history has taught me time and time again. If Baker plays, I think that might worry me some, and I do expect him to play. But like Baker's got to be 100%. He's not going to be 100%, and there's no
he's
way.
not going to be 100%.
No, there's no way that the Steelers don't get to him at least once, and that's not going to be fun. You could say whatever you want, but Keith Butler loves to shut down running backs, and there's nothing that will put a bigger smile on that man's face than shutting down Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson after the biggest game that maybe made him a top 10 running back in a lot of people's eyes out of nowhere. 3.5 is an easy bet. I'm easily taking the 3.5. I think I'm also easily taking this next one. It's an over-under 42.5. And I think I'm not an over guy, but in this one, I think that there's a chance.
Is it 42.5?
42.5.
I think that can happen. Yeah.
Yeah, right? It just feels like 22 points each that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy.
And even that, like, let's say the Steelers get to like 24 or the Browns get to 24. The other team really needs to get to 20 as well, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what quarterback's playing. I think that both of them can put up points for Cleveland. I think the only way the Steelers win this game is if they put up points, but I do expect Najee Harris to have a good game. I think Anthony McFarland is going to get involved some. I think that offensive line is finally starting to click. I mean, the Steelers went over the last 2 weeks. That's a good pick. I think that's a good line to draw from. I don't know if it'll go up if Baker's announced or not announced, but 42.5 is a good number.
Yeah, I like that. I would really like to see the numbers, or not even the numbers, just like who's playing on the Cleveland offensive side of the ball, because 20 points is a lot. Especially with the Steelers defense and like with Case Keenum, like that's a lot for them to go through.
The Steelers have not all the Steelers wins come from holding them from less than 20 points.
Yeah.
That is a number to, but do you think that they could get, I think that they could put up 24 to 28 points. I think that could happen.
I will say, coming off a bye week, if everybody's rolling like they should, they absolutely should be able to put up
Yeah.
around 24
On the road,
yeah.
this is not a game that the Steelers lose. There's a lot of games that you look at. The Seattle Seahawks is a prime example of that one. That you're looking at it and you're like, the Steelers should definitely lose this game. Like, if I know who the Pittsburgh Steelers are, and I do know who the Pittsburgh Steelers are, they're going to lose this game. They pulled that one out barely, and we all saw it. But it didn't worry anybody because they were supposed to lose that game. This game is a game where you look at it and you're like, this is one the Steelers win. And usually they win in defining fashion. So I think 42.5. I'm going to take the over. Are you taking the over or the under?
I'll take the over.
Taking the over.
Not
all right, hammered in 3.5, 42.5 over. Feeling good. We added a little bit to this one. We figured, the Steelers bets are fine, whatever, but nobody's putting a bunch of money on a 3.5 point, 42.5 team who's 3-3 fighting to beat the not Cincinnati Bengals. So we said, hey, let's add a little bit of juice here. Let's add a little bit of extra spark here.
Yeah.
And we came through with a 4-leg parlay for you on the SI Sportsbook, our lovely sportsbook over at sportsillustrated.com, si.com. A 4-leg parlay for you this weekend to toss in there, hopefully win a couple of bucks. Hopefully take a couple of bucks away from the SI Sportsbook, which we would love to do. We got a strong Cincinnati Bengals team coming in here smoking the Baltimore Ravens in week 7. It was not even close. I took the over on that I think it was like 49 points or something. And I was like, man, this worries me a little bit. Check the score is 41-17 or something. I was like, this is fantastic. Shout out Joey B, playing well. Zach Taylor coaching well. It's a good team. We got the Buffalo Bills smoking the Miami Dolphins money line. That's an easy one. That is Tua, Deshaun Watson. I don't care who it is. The Buffalo Bills, there's no way they're losing. No way. And the Miami Dolphins can't even beat the Atlanta Falcons. Not happening. The under of 44 on the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Seattle Seahawks. Still no Russell Wilson. It is a Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith battle right now. I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that the Seahawks were talking to Cam Newton, but then they were like, no, we shouldn't bring him in because Russell's going to come back. That'll stir up some weird drama, maybe. Am I right there?
I mean, I feel like it would, but I haven't heard anything about them signing Cam Newton. I feel like Cam Newton wants to go to a team, start out for the rest of the year, but I don't think he's exactly in the best position to, at this moment in time.
Yeah, I don't know who you're going. I mean, if Tyler Hinkie is the guy for the Washington football team, there's not really many spots left.
Dude, I think he's really banking on somebody getting a long-term injury a little bit later in the year, and it's a team that probably could make the playoffs, and then he just kind of jumps on a ship and goes from there.
Maybe. Always a possibility. Teams have good backup quarterbacks these days. If Ben Roethlisberger went down, the Steelers are not going to sign Cam Newton, although we'd get 9 million stories about it. No doubt about that one. And to end this 4-leg same-day parlay, the Dallas Cowboys, -1 point favorites over the Minnesota Vikings. That leaves you with a solid plus 379 odds. We understand, you got to put a little bit of money down to make a little bit of money. But when the bets are this clean and when you're feeling this confident about it, there's not really a bunch that you can do to feel bad about it. Explain your thoughts on. I also have to say that Donnie came up with pretty much all this. So if it's wrong,
I'll take it. If it's wrong, blame me. Just looking at the odds right now. What is it? Plus 379. So a $50 bet will net you 190. If my math is anywhere close to being right. I feel like with those bigger parlays, perfect.
239. 239 on a $50 bet. That's a nice day. That is a nice day.
Very nice day. I feel like with the big parlays, a lot of people like to do. I try to keep them within 3 to 4 legs, just to kind of minimize the risk, if that's even a thing with parlays.
Yeah.
So money line, I really like with the Bills and then the Bengals, obviously, especially with Zach Wilson not playing for the Jets this week. Fully expect the Bengals to just throttle those guys.
Oh yeah.
Cowboys
A lot of
minus
people are
one.
talking about how that's a trap game. It's not. The Jets are never a trap game.
Cowboys minus one. I really like that a lot. I mean, obviously, it's basically them just winning by 1 point. But if for whatever reason a really strong Minnesota Vikings team shows up and they end up winning 21-20, that bet still pushes at worst. And then you already kind of talked about the under 44 for the Jaguars and the Seahawks. It's a Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith game. That under could be like 30, and I probably still would take that number. I'm just not confident in either of those offenses getting rolling at all. So,
No, I agree. I think
nice little 4-leg parlay here. Nothing too crazy to start it out. And I guess we can kind of change and adjust as we go throughout the year.
yeah, we start here and in a couple of episodes after we get the little kinks out. But I do think that week 8 is a great week to start winning bets. I started winning bets in week 6. I felt fantastic about it. We're going through and we're going to keep it rolling. I think this is a good little plus 379 parlay, 4 legs, easy money, in my opinion. Easy money. We'll see what happens. Before we head out of here, it was at one time the worst part of the show. Then it bounced back to the best part of the show. Now it's a fun part of the show. How we end every Thursday here. We're going to make our predictions for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns, 1:00 on Halloween, spooky season. Boo. What are you going for? It's Halloween. Are you going out? You doing some trick or treating?
No, I'm going as a dude who's got to write about football on Sundays. So
nice. Me too. I will be handing out candy though. So I love handing out candy. I won't lie to you. Steelers, 3.5-point dogs. Case Keenum or Baker Mayfield, likely going to be Baker Mayfield, excuse me, at First Energy Stadium in the dog pound. Who do you got? What's your prediction?
I'll take the Steelers 20. I'll take them 24 13. 24-13.
24-13. That doesn't hit the over.
So I'm going to be right either way. I'm hedging my bet.
All righty. 24-13 Steelers. I kind of feel the same way. Like I said, this just feels like that time of game. It feels like the type of game that the Steelers will win. Not that they should win, because they usually lose the games that they should win. It feels like one that they will win. This is not the new Cincinnati Bengals. I could see the Cleveland Browns being the new Cincinnati Bengals, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be upset about that one. I think the Steelers walk in here. I think they do win. I think they do cover the over for us. 28-17. That would give us our money. That would hit the bet. I think Ben has a game. I think Ben kind of just says, yo, look, guys, we're not dead yet. This season's still alive. Needed the bye week to heal a little bit. And I expect Najee to go off. 28-17, feeling real good about it.